Good morning, students. Welcome to the online section on environmental studies. So it helps to learn more about your mother's earth. Okay. So when you observe this, environmental studies is a subject that has been given to all the student society to learn more about their mother's earth. Okay, so when you observe this particular environmental studies, so you are having as a part of your subject. So all streams of under Bharatiya University is having this subject as a compulsory subject, where this has been categorized into 5 units, which deals with different concepts of the environment. Okay, so in this connections, in the first unit, what we are going to learn about is the natural resources, whereas the second unit, which deals about the ecosystem and its types, and also the various types of ecosystems where it has been exist, whether it may be a forest ecosystem, whether it may be a pond ecosystem, or it may be a desert ecosystem or anything. And under unit 3 we are going to study about biodiversity, so where the species, how it has been get spread all over the world. So in a particular population, so how this particular organisms, so different kinds of organisms have their life. So that's we studied under this biodiversity. And the fourth unit concerns with the pollution and its type. So, due to man-made actions or various activities which has been carried out on the earth, which will leads to some pollutions, whether it may be a noise pollution, or it may be a air pollution, or water pollution, or land pollution, or anything can be under study under this particular topic. And the fifth unit, so where we are going to have a control measures and also the various law which has been get generated to control the various pollutions. So under this condition, we have been imbibing various laws, such as the environmental laws, to protect our environment. So we have to safeguard our environment. Okay. So based on this, so these are all the 5 units which has been categorized under our environmental studies portions. Okay, so when you observe this unit 1, so today what we have been going to learn is the unit 1, where under this we have been studied about the definition and what are the components of our environment. So we should know, before we entering into the environmental studies or the any natural resources or anything, we should know what is our environment, so what it has been made up of, so how it has been have a relationship with various disciplinary natures, and also the importance of studying this particular subject. Okay, so when you observe this particular subjects, what we are handling is we should know about the various components of the ecosystem and the importance of environmental studies. So now the Srinivasan from Department of Biotechnology going to deals with the natural resources. So me and Dr. Vinod Khanna sir is going to concern with this particular subject, the unit 1 about the natural resources, where I am going to deal with forest resource and water resource and mineral resource, whereas Vinod Kanasa is going to deal with the food resource, land resource, and the energy resource. Okay, so when you observe this particular definition behind the environment, so we should know what is environment, so how it has been made up of, who developed this particular environment. So this the human, we the human have creator or the molder of the environment. So we have only made the environment by changing based upon the needs for our various purposes. So it also incorporate all the social, economical, biological or physical and the chemical factors. Okay, so when you observe this particular environment, so we have been seen about the sum of the total of all these categories. So it has been depends upon the social values and also the economical values of the country, and also the biological, physical, or any other chemical factors that has been constitute the surrounding of the human. So these are all the various factors that surrounds the human who have become a creator or the molder of the environment. So when you observe this particular component, so when you observe the component of this particular environment, it has been broadly classified as biotic and abiotic component. So here I have given some of the examples for biotic and abiotic components, where the biotic components, so they are the living species, so which can able to prepare their own food material for the energy. And also the abiotic component, they are sun and the sea, are the examples of abiotic component. So as I told, the environmental studies, this is nothing but what we have to be acquire knowledge or the skills based on the various factors of disciplines, such as we can have the knowledge based on the chemistry, biology, earth science, atmospheric science, statistics, mathematics, and geology. So all these subjects has been incorporated as a multidisciplinary nature. So whenever we are going to study about the environment, so we have been undergo ecology studies, or we can go study about the atmospheric science, and also the oceanography. Ocean means the sea, and geology, the soil, and the archaeology and the anthropology, and sociology, history. So here, if you observe, we are going to know about the economy of the country is based upon the ecology or the ecosystems that has been developed by that particular countries. Okay, so why and what is the importance of studying this particular environment studies at the students level? So as we people know that we have been studying from the uh, young child itself. So, but even though we have been, this is a continuous process. This is a continuous process which helps to overcome the various problems that has been associated with the environment. So one thing first we can able to know is we can able to find out the environmental solutions, pollutions, and we can able to find related solutions for that. And also we can maintain the ecological balance. So the ecological balance where the living organisms survive, so we can able to balance the ecology. Okay, and also we can able to access the environment impact of human activity. So what we have, so due to the human nature, we have been changing the environment. So we can attain skills based on the how we can able to access the environment impact. So what are the impacts which has been caused by the human activities towards the environment? And also it helps to protect the biodiversity. So biodiversity is nothing but the diverse of organisms that survive on a particular locality. So this has been helps to provide. So when you are studying the environmental studies or the environmental science, which helps to preserve the organisms that has been survey on a particular locality, and also we can have a knowledge on environment and associated problems. So we can, so based on studying all these things, we have been able to know about the environments and the surroundings, and also we are, what are the associated problems that has been arise and how we can able to solve those problems. And also it helps to achieve sustainable development, and when this also helps to educate the people regarding their duties towards production of environment. So when you are studying all these things, so what will happen, what are the human activities which helps to change the environment, so to product that environment, so what are all the things we can able to educate. So nowadays if you observe this, the environment has been highly polluted. So there are the education has been given up from the at the school level itself, by planting a large number of trees at various places inside near to their house everywhere. Okay, so in that way how we can able to protect the environment, and also it helps to study about the agriculture, so how we can able to cultivate the crops. Okay, so now, so this is about the environmental studies. So how when you are studying the environmental studies or the environmental science, you have been learn lot of, you can do lots of things to our environment. So how we can able to conserve, or we can able to prevent our environment from degradations or anything, and we can able to use it in a useful way. Okay, so under this category we are going to see about the natural resources. As I told, I'm going to deal with the forest, water, and mineral resources, whereas the food, land, and energy resources will be dealt by Dr. Vinod Khanna sir. Okay, so we know that one of the most important thing which has been surrounding us. We know, if, for example, if you take a Coimbatore, so we have been surrounded by Western Ghats. We have been surrounded by Western Ghats. So this Western Ghats which gives shelter to flora and fauna. Flora means we know that a large number of plants has been survived on this Western Ghats, and also the fauna. As from a small insect to the larger animal has been survive under this particular forest ecosystem, and also this forest ecosystem helps in providing timbers for human. And due to this condition, so what we have been observed in this forest system is the nutrient cycle. So whatever the nutrient that has been present, so they are enriched in nutrient. The soil which is present on the forest area, they are enriched in nutrient where it has been distributed between the organisms. It has been distributed between the organisms, so which will lead to formation of food chain and biodiversity of species. So based on this, the particular species can able to survive based on the nutrient cycle. Particular species can able to survive on a particular locality, and also they can form a food chain. So based on that, the particular group of organisms that can able to, or animals that can be survive on that particular environment. So another one good example is the ocean. Ozone, it is also a natural resources, so which helps to generate power, which helps to generate wave power. It is also a kind of renewable energy. It is also a kind of renewable energy. And also the salt that has been provided by the ocean is acts as a habitat for aquatic living form. So we know that the large number of species has been exist in the ozones also. And another one important thing which we can be able to observe in and around the Coimbatore is the windmill. Windmill. So this windmill is also a natural resources. It is also a kind of natural resources. So which helps to generate electricity. So nowadays, people mostly depend upon this windmill for generating the electricity for their own use. So this has been collected by the electricity board, and that has been distributed to the various people. So when you observe the uses of natural resources, so we can able to observe there are different kinds of natural resources such as air, animals. So we are also the natural resources: soil, solar, light, wood by tree, or the water. So if you observe the uses of these natural resources, so the air which is present on the atmosphere, which helps all the living things for breathing, and also this helps to generate the wind energy. Wind energy, so it helps to generate electricity or the wind energy, whereas the animals or plants, they provide food, cloths, and shelter. So we know that from the cloths can be produced from the seeds, and it can be the animal plants that has been given as shelter, and also the medicinal activity, and also it is used as mode of transport. So these animals, they can be able to take some goods from one place to the another place, and also the waste that has been generated by the animals can be used as a fuel or the fertilizers. Okay, so another one important thing is the soil. So the soil is nothing but they are the most nutrient source for plant. They are the primary nutrient source for plant, where the plants can able to absorb all the nutrient from the soil only. Okay, and also due to the presence of this nutrients, it acts as the habitat for many microorganisms, or also many organisms that survive that particular environment. And also the solar light, they provide light energy and helps the plants to for making their food. So as we know that the solar energy, the light energy which has been obtained from the sun, which helps to generate the energy for the plants. So the plants, by utilizing this particular solar light energy, it will be converted into a chemical energy, and it has been stored as a food for their survival. Okay, so this through the process we call them as the photosynthesis. So another one is the wood or the tree. So in another way, how this plants can be utilized is if it can be used as a construction material, and it can be used as utensils and for making furnitures and sporting equipment. So the cricket bat, hockey sticks or stems, anything has been done from wood or trees. And the water which has been used in household, agriculture and transportation purposes. So now we are going to see about in detail about the forest resources, where the major biotic communities has been survived under the forest resources, and the predominant one is the trees. The predominant one is the trees, which acts as an important renewable resources. So what is the role of this particular trees in the forest? Means it helps to restore the oxygen in the atmosphere. Helps to restore the oxygen in the atmosphere through the process we call them as the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, and also it provide medicine, fuels, and many other products that are important for health and comfort of the human beings. As one of the forest resources, it is one of the most great diversity of flora and fauna. So we know that we can able to. So when we reach the Western Ghats, you can able to observe long and large trees can be observed. So if you go near to that, you can able to see there are lots of small trees that has been survived under these large trees, or the mushrooms or fungi. Anything can be survived under this large trees. Okay, so as it is a great diversity of both flora and fauna. So mostly the animals can also be survive under this particular forest resources. So when you observe the what are the benefits behind this forest resources, means so there are two ways by which the forest resource has been benefited the humans. So one way by which it is a direct benefit, from where we can able to obtain timbers for construction of buildings and furniture. And also this forest can provide raw materials for large and small scale industries. So we know that there are lots of industries that has been dependent upon the forest resources, where the furniture makers, BD, salt seed oils and bamboo sticks. So all these things has been used for by larger or the small scale industries for various purposes. And also these forest resources, they produce variety of edible products that is essential for human beings and animals. And also the medicine which has been provided by the plants is also very much important. And also it provide a natural habitat for tribal people. So these are the peoples who are living in and around the forest area. So it acts as a natural habitat, so they depends upon this forest areas for their food and the sticks, the fire sticks, everything. And also it an important source of national income. So the forest resource is one of the important source where the national income will be raised. And also it helps to attract the tourists by its beauty of landscapes. So due to the landscape, so we can able to observe. So when we are going towards the Western Ghats, we will be attracted by the beauty and the landscapes in and around this Western Ghats. So these are all the direct benefits. So it can be directly we can able to observe the what these are all the benefit which has been provided by the forest to the human beings. Whereas the indirect benefit, if you observe, it helps to minimize the natural hazards. So whatever the natural hazards are nothing but they are the toxic substances or the toxic chemicals that has been released. So the forest which helps to reduce the or minimize the natural hazards. And also it helps in reducing soil erosion, and also siltation of downstream water bodies. So we know that see soil erosion is nothing but if there is no plants that is present on this surroundings, means what will happen when the flood comes, the soil will be get eroded and move on from that particular locality to the next locality. So when the plants are present, this soils will be strictly bound by this roots or the stems of the plant. So the soil erosion will be provided, and the siltation of downstream water bodies, the siltation is nothing but where the soil which has been entered into the water bodies. water bodies. So due to this condition, so what will happen? The way by which the water runs will be changed. The way by which the water runs will be get changed. And also another one thing, if the large amount of plants is present means which reduce the desertification. So desertification is nothing but the fertile land which will be converted into a infertile land. So if the fertile land which is converted into an infertile land means we call this as the desertification. So this due to the presence of plants that has been present on the forest ecosystem, forest resources, it will reduce the desertification, and also it reduces the land degradation. So the land will not be get degraded. So the land, how it can be able to degrade? So due to droughtiness, or due to soil erosion, or due to the siltation. Okay, so these are all the various factors that will leads to land degradation. Okay, draftness means there is no required amount of water that has been present on that particular land. So in that the plants would not be able to survive. So that conditions which leads to the draftness, which will lead to draftness. And also it helps in maintaining biodiversity by providing habitat to wild animals. So another one, as I told, the biodiversity is nothing but the organisms or the animals that survive on a particular locality. So this acts as a habitat, living place, dwelling place for the animals where they can able to survive. And also they helps to regulate hydrological cycles. And also due to the presence of this forest ecosystem or the forest resources, so what will happen means we can able to regulate the gases that is present in the atmosphere. So for example, if you take the carbon dioxide, if it is present in the atmosphere, it has been taken up by the plants, which has been used to convert for their food and energy source. So when you observe this forest resources in India, if you observe, there are five top states with largest area under this forest cover. So they are mostly the northeastern state of India. So there are seven states, which is a northeastern state of India, have nearly one fourth of the forest country's forest cover. So you can able to observe the different hectares. So these are the different places where the 5.6 million hectares of lands will be a forest cover in Chandigarh. So in case of Odisha, 5.03 million hectares of lands has been acts as a forest cover. So when you observe this land resources or the forest resources, the valuable products that has been synthesized by this forest has been given in this tree, in this tree shape. So where we can able to produce ink, dye, cosmetics, soaps, chewing gum, timbers, wood, paper, food, camphor, herbal medicines, plastic, balsams, sausage casing, flour tanning, and cinnamon. So these are all the various products that has been produced by the forest resources. So next one is the deforestation. So the deforestation is nothing but where we have been removal or reducing the forest cover, reduction of forest cover. So this is the term which represents where we have been destroying our environment. So which leads to destroying of our environment or the land degradation. So what are the causes behind this deforestation means? One is we have been encroaching the forest land for agricultural use. Why we have to go for the encroachment of this forest land for agricultural use means, so due to increase in population, due to increase in population, and also we have been expand our dwelling place towards the forest because of accommodation, because of accommodation. So based on this increasing population, so we are in need of various activities. So for that, what we have been doing is we have been constructing dams, canals, and producing highways for faster transportation. And also we have there is a establishment of industrial areas also. So due to this condition, so when we are destroying the forest, there will be a demand for firewood. Firewood. So this will affect the peoples who are living in and around that particular forest areas. And next one is the mining. mining, you know that we have been taken certain raw materials from the surface of the earth. Okay, and forest fire. So it is another conditions where the this is occurs due to human activity. And when you see the effect of this particular deforestation means, so what will happen when there is no forest means the habitat will be lost. The habitat will be lost where the wild animals and plants will be get highly affected. And also it will leads to increase in the intensity and frequency of flood. So due to these conditions where the flood can be easily affect that particular region, and also which will leads to land degradation, and also due to destroying of plants in that particular forest area will affect the products which has been obtained from that particular forest region. Okay, so the products which has been obtained from that forest will also be lost. So due to this condition, so what will happen, automatically the climate will change. So due to this condition the soil erosion occurs, so which will makes the soil enter into the riverbed and it flows the rivers and lakes rivers and lakes. And due to this condition, so it will lead to loss of revenue. And also which so due to all these factors, so there will be changes in the hydrological cycles, and also the rainfall will be reduced. So if it is a long run means it will increase the socio-economic problems. So how we can able to control this deforestation? How we can able to control the deforestation means, one is we should prohibit the mining. So where we have been declared as the productive forest. So we know that there are certain regions it has been highly productive. Okay, so Anamalai, for example, if you take Anamalai and tiger reserves forest, everything. So they are highly protected forest. So in that area and that regions, we have to prohibit the mining activities. And another one is we have to indulge the students or the society to go for massive plantations. So how much we are cutting the trees, above that we have to go for plantations also. And also we have to enact environmental laws and legal provisions, and it should be strictly enforced. So we should not generating the laws or the legal provisions, it's not enough, but we have to strictly enforce to that activity. So if they are doing anything wrong, they should be sentenced to jail. So there have been, nowadays there have been lots of environmental laws has been developed for forest, water, land, everything. Okay, and the public awareness. So what we have to do is we have to create the awareness among the public regarding the medicinal and the economic or the environmental significance of the forest. So we know that the plants, they are the most source which which have a medicinal properties. So due to that condition, the economy of the country will be increased, and also the significance of this particular environmental factors of the forest should be explained to the public. So what we have to do, we have to create awareness. So this can be easily done by the students. So we can go for plantation. So nowadays, 3 weeks before, government itself take initiating planting trees in and around the various places of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so when you observe this functions of this forest, it has been classified under following categories, such as it acts as a productive function, it provides products and regulatory functions and accessory functions. So these are all the some of the examples of productive functions and also the product that has been obtained from the forest resources. So if you observe this forest, they provide protection against soil erosion, drought, flood, and radiations. So if plants is present in large quantity means it will absorb all the radiations which has been obtained from the sun. So if it is not present, so this radiations will be returned back to the atmosphere, so that will indirectly affect the humans. Okay, and also the flood. So if plant is present, there will not be any flood arise, drought condition. So you can able to see the regions where the drought, flood, soil erosions will be occurs. Okay, so these are all the some of the products that has been obtained through this forest resources. So we can able to get gum, resins, medicines, honey, pulp, bamboo, timbers, vegetables, and fruits. All these things can be provided by the forest resources. Okay, so when you observe the ecological importance of this forest, so what is the main purpose of this forest is it helps to regulate the global climate and temperature. So we know that nowadays the global climate has been increased by 2 degree 2 degrees, so due to the melting of glaciers. So this particular forest they play a crucial role in regulating this particular global climate and temperature. So as it absorbs the solar radiation, so when as I told before itself, so the radiations which has been come from the sun will be absorbed by the plants. So if it is not, then means what will happen means this particular radiation it has been reflected back into the atmosphere by the bare surface of the earth. So this is the conditions will be occur. So due to these conditions, when there is a large number of plants, if it is present on our surroundings, means it can able to absorb all the radiations from the which has been come from the sun. So another one is the transpiration process. Transpiration process. So we know that the transpiration process, the plants how it respires through. So where it helps to increase the atmosphere humidity. It atmosphere. So the humidity of the atmosphere will be increased due to transpiration process, which affect the rainfall, and it helps the cools the atmosphere and thus regulate the hydrological cycles. Okay, so and another one important thing about this particular forest ecosystem is the reduction of global warming. So we know that the main greenhouse gas is the carbon dioxide. So when you observe this carbon dioxide, so it has been utilized by the plants which has been present on the forest area where it has been observed for photosynthesis purposes. So this particular forest they acts as a sink for carbon dioxide. So due to the excess carbon dioxide which is absorbed by the plants, we call there will be a reduction in the greenhouse effect due to carbon dioxide. So next one is the importance. So we have been seen all these things. So how it has been regulated. So what are the functions of this particular forest resources? Everything have been observed. So now how economically this forest resources has been highly important to us. So first one is the timber. So we know that the timber is nothing but say they have been used for commercial purposes for making furnitures, and also it can making boats, bridges, and other day-to-day uses. So we know that nowadays a large number of utensils has been come in wood. Large number of utensils has been come in wood, and next one is the fuel wood. So it has been used for cooking and other purposes by poor people. So the people, those who are not able to afford the gas, they can go for this fuel wood for cooking purpose. Mostly it has been used in people by who are living in a poor conditions, and the raw materials for wood-based industries. So as we have been seeing this particular forest that has been used as a raw material for its wood-based industries. One is paper and pulp industries. So for making papers also we need wood. Okay, and the sports good furniture and matchboxes. So all these things where the forest they acts as a resource, raw materials and food. So the fruits, roots, and leaves that has been obtained from plants and trees along with the meat of forest animal, they provide the food to tribal people. So whatever the fruits roots or leaves of plants, and also the animals that has been present in this forest area that can be provided to as food for tribal people. So other miscellaneous products that can also be produced. So nowadays you can able to observe that Ayurveda. So there are lots of medicines has been obtained from various types of plant species, and also now the honey they have been provided by the forest. So these are the various products that has been obtained through the forest resources. Forest resources. So the next resources. So what we are going to see is the water resources. Water resources. So we know that this water is one of the most important thing for human lives. Human lives. So without water, we can't able to survive. So when you observe the uses of this water resources, so mostly it has been used in agriculture. Mostly it has been used in industries and the household, recreational activities, and environmental activities. Environmental activities. So as we, the human beings, we depends on fresh water. We depends on fresh water, and also it acts as a renewable resources. So, like soil and air, this water is also a renewable resources. So, we know that the supply of this water, the fresh water, will be clean, but nowadays they will be decreasing. It will be decreasing because of this critical resources around the world. It is under threat. So nowadays, now due to various activity by the human beings, now the water resources also under threat. So here, when you observe these conditions where the water demands already exists supply in many parts of the world, so there is scarcity of water throughout the world started arising as the world population continue to rise. So too does the water demand. So now due to these conditions, so the supply of water to the world is also demand. Already they have been exit, and also this is occurs due to the increase in the population. Increase in the population, so which will leads to water demand. Which will leads to water demand. Okay. So when you observe the sources of fresh water, sources of fresh water. So it has been classified into four categories. One is the surface water. So we know that the surface water is nothing but the water that has been present in rivers, lakes, freshwater, wetlands. So wetlands. So all this we consider the surface water. So which has been replenished by precipitation, and this has been naturally lost through discharge to the oceans, evaporations, or subsurface seepage. So here what will happen means most of the surface water has been get discharged into the ocean. So it will be connected. So for example, if you take the Kuam river, so it will be lastly it has been get discharged into the ocean. It will be lastly it has been get discharged into the ocean. And another way, due to high heat, it will lead to evaporation, and also it will be go and mix with the sewage water. And the next one is the groundwater, where these are the water source which has been present between the spaces of soils and rocks. So we can able to observe. So when you are digging your soil nearby your region, you can able to see the waters that has been present in the pore space of the soils and the rocks. Okay. And it is also that it flows within aquifer below the water table. So below our soil we have a water table, so it acts as an aquifer. And another one condition is desalination process, where it is an artificial process by which the saline water, that means the salt water, will be converted into a fresh water. The salt water will be converted into a fresh water. So this we call them as the desalination, removal of salt from the water, and then it has been converted into fresh water and utilized. Next one is the frozen water. So this is the water that is obtained from icebergs. However, today this has only been done for novelty purposes. So this glaciers runoff is considered to be a surface water. So we know that due to rise in temperature, so what will happen? This glaciers will be melted and it will be entered into the surface water, and it has been now it has been considered as a surface water. So for where and all we can able to utilize this water resources. So mostly it has been used for agriculture purposes. Mostly it has been used for agriculture purposes and aquaculture also. So we can also use this water resources for cultivating the fishes. Fishes. So, but the growing agriculture use of water. But when compared to this aquaculture, the agriculture use of water has been increased. Okay, so the second one is the industrial purposes. So here if you observe this, 15% of this particular worldwide water has been used by industries, has been used by industries. This industrial water usage that is varies widely, but as a whole is lower than the agriculture. So when you observe, so based upon the industries, the usage of water will differ. So for example, if you take the textile industries or the leather industries, when compared to this in two industries, the usage of water from will vary from textile industries and also the leather industries. So when I go for textile industries, so there will be a limited process, whereas the go for leather industries, so there is a large steps has been involved in the conversion of this raw material into a pure leather products. So due to these conditions, the usage of this water also varies widely between the various industries. And another one is recreational purposes. So we know this has been mostly used, very small amount has been used, as it has been growing percentage of total water use. So we know the recreational purposes, so we are entertaining purposes, the theme parks where this water has been used. So in certain places where this particular recreational water use can be tied up with the reservoir, that has been tied up with the reservoir. So another one is mostly it has been used for household purposes. Household purposes. So the 15% of water, worldwide water, has been used for household purposes, where it has been used for drinking, bathing, cooking, sanitation, and gardening. Okay, so these are all the various uses of water resources and how we have to conserve it. So how we have been used this water, whether it has been good or bad uses of water. So the ways by which we have been wasting the water. One is dishwasher. Another one is brushing teeth, shaving, car washing, and bath timing. Bath timing. So how we can conserve this type of water when we are doing this activities. So how we can save the water. So what we can able to conserve this water is by running your dishwasher for only full loaded. So when your dishwasher is fully loaded, then only you have to start this dishwasher machine to run. And another one is while you are brushing your teeth. So some people, we know that some people, they will simply open the tap water and they will keep the brush and they will brush their teeth. They will not stop the water. So you have to turn off the water when you brush your teeth, and check your faucet or toilets for leakage. So we have to find the toilets whether there is any leakage in and around, and we have to take a short shower short shower. And also we have to water your lawn in the morning, because we know that in the morning there will be lots of this thing moisture will be present. So at that time we can use very less amount of water for the plants. So we have to water your lawn in the morning. Okay, so the next resources, so what we have been observed is the mineral resources. Mineral resources. So we can able to find that there are 3,000 different kinds of minerals has been exists on Earth. There are over 3,000 3,000 different minerals has been exists on Earth. So based upon the composition, the minerals are classified mainly as metallic and non-metallic minerals. Metallic and non-metallic minerals, where these metallic minerals they contain metals in raw form. So when you observe this metallic minerals, where the minerals that has been present as a raw source, and the metals are hot substance. So when you observe these metals, so they have certain characteristics. They have certain characteristics where they can able to conduct heat and electricity and have the characteristic of lecture or sign. Lecture or sign. So for example, if you take the iron ore, bauxite and manganese ore. So these are some examples for the metals. They have a hot substance, but they could able to conduct heat and electricity. So when you observe this metallic minerals, so they may be a ferrous or non-ferrous. They may be a ferrous or non-ferrous. So here, below is the flowchart which represents the minerals. As these minerals, it has been classified into different categories such as metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, and energy minerals. Energy minerals. So under this metallic minerals, it has been classified into two categories. One is ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous and non-ferrous, where the ferrous means they contain iron. So for example, iron, nickel, etc. So these are all the examples for ferrous ferrous metals which contains iron. So when you observe this non-ferrous metal, so they does not contain iron. Instead of that, they may be contains copper, lead, tin, etc. Okay, so the non-metallic minerals. So this is not a raw source. This is not a raw source. The limestone, sandstone, marbles. So they have been exits on the earth. So these are the examples for non-metallic minerals, and the energy minerals are nothing but the coal, petroleum and natural gases. So these are all the examples for energy minerals. So another one conditions where we have been how we have been going to extract the minerals, extraction of minerals. So how we can able to extract the minerals from the earth surface means through the process we call them as mining. Through the process called mining. So where we have been taken out minerals from rocks that buried under the earth surface. So through the process of this mining, we have been taken out the minerals from the rocks which has been buried under the earth surface. So if you observe this mining process, it has been classified into two categories. One is open cast mining and shaft mining. Open cast mining and shaft mining, where when you observe this open cast mining, where the minerals they have been lie at shallow depth are taken out by removing the surface layer. So here in open cast mining, we have to remove the surface layer and we have to go for a shallow depth to obtain the minerals. And shaft mining is nothing but it is a deep bores. So we have to put the bores at a deep level. We call them as shaft. So here, if you observe this process of mining, shaft mining, where it made to reach the mineral deposit that lie at great depth, that has been lie at greater. So these are all the minerals that has been present at the great depth of the earth surface. Okay, so this process we call them as shaft mining. So open cast mining is nothing but we have been removing the surface soil and we have been taken out the minerals from the shallow depth, and the shaft mining is nothing but we have been going for deep bores to collect the minerals which has been located at the deep great depth. We call this as the shaft mining. So another one is the drilling process, where it has been used for energy minerals. Okay, the petroleum or the natural gas they have been far below the earth's surface has been collected through drilling. So what we have to do is we have to go for deep well or having port to taken them out. This process we call them as drilling. Okay. And next one is the quarrying, minerals that lie near the surface or easily dug out. So these are the quarry. So you know that you might have seen lots of quarries in and around your places. So where from the surface itself they have been collect all the minerals. We call this process as the quarrying process. So when you observe this particular extraction of minerals, it has been classified into different categories based on this: mining, drilling, and quarrying. So this mining, it has been classified into open cast mining and shaft mining. So the next slide, which has been helps to explain about the distribution of minerals. Distribution of minerals. So we know that the minerals as it is, it cannot be get distributed all over the surface or anything. So it has been occur at different types of rocks. Different types of rocks. So when you observe these types of rocks, it may be a igneous rocks, or it may be a metamorphic rocks, or it may be a sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks. So when you observe this metallic minerals, the metallic minerals, they have been found in igneous or metamorphic rock that form a large plateau. That form a large plateau. So, in case of iron ore from North Sweden, and the copper and nickel deposit in Ontario, and Canada, iron, nickel, chromite, and platinum in South Africa. So these are all the different types of minerals that has been taken from all over the world. So these types of minerals, so they have been mostly found in igneous and metamorphic rocks. Igneous and metamorphic rocks, whereas the sedimentary rock formation of plains and young fold mountains contain non-metallic minerals like limestones. So the sedimentary rocks that has been present on plains and young fold mountains. So they contain non-metallic minerals like limestones. So these are the examples for various types of minerals that has been exists at different rock types. Different rock types. So another one is the limestone, the deposits of Caucasus region of France, manganese deposits of Georgia and Ukraine, and phosphate beds of Algeria. So are the some of the examples for sedimentary rock formations. Sedimentary rock formations, and also the mineral fuels such as coal and petroleum are also found in the sedimentary strata. Sedimentary strata means it is nothing but the rock surfaces. That are nothing but the rock surfaces. So when you observe these conditions where the distribution of iron, copper, and bauxites throughout the world. So this map represents the mineral minerals that has been located. So the symbols which has been given under this particular legend shows the uranium, silver, oil, lead, zinc, iron, diamond, bauxite, coal, copper, gold. So these are all the different minerals that has been exists throughout the world. So you can able to observe the symbolic representations of that. So now we have been going to observe how these types of minerals that has been distributed in India. So how it has been get distributed in India. So for example, if you take the iron, bauxite, mica, copper, limestone, gold, salt. So all this has been exists in India also. In India also, we have been obtained all these minerals. Okay. So when observe this iron, so they are high grade iron ore. Yeah, high grade iron ore. So these types of minerals mostly found in Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. And the bauxite ore, they are major bauxite producing areas are Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh. So like this, different places. And when you go for the mica, so mostly the Jharkhand. So they have all types of resources. So as we see that the northeast region of India, so they have been mostly have all resources. So the limestone, so they have been producing in India are Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu. And gold. Mostly, this is Kolar mines, where it is located in Karnataka, has deposit of gold in India. So these mines are among the deepest of the world, which makes mining of this ore and a very expensive process. So we know that the kolar mining at located at Karnataka. So it is one of the expensive process to get these types of ore and salt, which has been obtained from sea, lakes, and rocks. India is one of the world leading producer and exporters of salt. So and the last slide which has been helps to know about the uses of minerals and also how we can able to conserve the minerals, uses and conservation of minerals. Okay, so nowadays we know that the minerals has been used by many industries, have been used by many industries, and also which has been used for gems that are usually hot, and this has been set in various styles of jewelries. So we know that the gemstones which has been incorporated into the jewelries. Okay, and the copper is another metal which has been used in everything from coins to pipes. Copper pipes and coins has been used, and the silicon which has been used in computer industries that is obtained from quartz, and the aluminium which has been ore from its ore bauxite, where it has been used in various automobile and aeroplanes and blotting industries, buildings, and even in kitchen cookwares. So nowadays we know that the most of the buildings that has been covered by this aluminium rooms. So most of the industries or the buildings, they they have been move on to this aluminum feedings for doors or anything. So we can easily make rooms by using this aluminum. So how we can able to conserve these minerals? So as it is one of the non-renewable resources, it cannot be renewed. So it is a non-renewable resources. So once it has been taken out, it takes 1,000 years for the formation and concentration of these minerals. Okay, so the rate of formation is much smaller than the rate at which human consume these minerals. So nowadays, if you observe, so we have been depends on various for various purposes. We have been depend on various minerals. Okay, so in that condition, the rate of formation of such minerals, it is smaller when compared to the consume of these minerals by the human, and it is also necessary to reduce wastage in the process of mining. And we can another one thing what we can able to do is we can go for recycling of metals, is one of the another way by which these mineral resources can be conserved. So this is about the natural resources of forest, water resources, and the mineral resources. So the next topic on natural resources has been followed by Dr. Vinod Khanna sir within 15 minutes. By 12:15 he will start the classes. So till now it's break. So stay on line. Okay. Wait for Vinod Khanna sir to join. Dear students, the next section will be start by Dr. Vinod Khanna sir.
Good morning to everyone. So, in this today's session, we are going to see about the natural resources, the second half of the unit one. So, in this particular natural resources, so we are going to see the food resources, impacts of overgrazing, effects of modern agriculture, food security, energy resources, and land resources. So regarding the food resources, so the food resources that are being coming from three different sources in the overall world population. Number one will be the cropland that is found to be providing nearly 76% of the total food grains, and the second one will be the rangelands, and here the grazing livestock that are found to be providing the milk and meat-based products, and that is found to be in total of 17% of the total food products. And the third one will be the fisheries that supplies nearly 7% of the total food production. Okay, and here this is the total pie chart which is found to be showing how the particular food is being arriving from the overall world population. And regarding the world food problem, so there are so many number of problems have been arising in our world. The number one will be the natural disasters. The second one will be the poverty. The third one will be the demand on food fertilizers, global food prices, uncontrolled population, foreign companies, undernourishment, malnourishment, and overnutrition. And here on the right hand side, you can see the particular graph which is found to be showing the hunger map of year 2022. Here, the India, which is found to be coming under the percentage of 5 to 14.9% of the hunger status, nearly the overall population is found to be having, okay, having the 5 to 14.9% of the people are found to be in a hunger status. Whereas some of the African countries are found to be showing nearly more than 35% of the peoples are found to be in hunger status. And regarding the impacts of overgrazing, so overgrazing is nothing but the feeding by the livestock in the agro ecosystem that is being called as the grazing. And here, when the particular agro ecosystem are being grazed by the livestock in a maximum number or in a voracious condition, which leads to the depletion of the particular food or food-based products. The overgrazing here is found to be giving so many number of effects in our system. So the number one will be the soil erosion. The soil erosion is nothing but removal of the upper organic layer. Okay, so that has been called as the soil erosion, and that is due to be done by the particular flood. And the second one will be the land degradation. So in this particular land degradation, the humus is nothing but the beneficial microorganisms that are being present over the surface of the soil layer, okay, that are being removed due to the particular land degradation. And due to the one, the nutrient levels are being get lower, the water percolation rate is also found to be get diminished in a minimum level, and also the organic recycling process also found to be get declined. The organic recycling is nothing but the biogeochemical cycles. So the conversion of water to the particular water vapors and water vapors to water. So that is one type of a recycling process. Further beyond the carbon cycle, phosphorus, sulfur, and other things that are been happen in our system is also found to be get reduced. And also there are some useful species that are found to be lost in our environment, which leads to an endemic condition and flood. Okay, so due to the unpresence of the particular agro plants. So due to that, the floods are found to be produced, which leads to removal of all the nutrient layers over the particular surface, which makes the particular environment to be a non-fertile one. And finally, the plant diversity are found to be get reduced, which leads to diminishing in the particular plant diversity, and also the dependent of the particular plants are found to be get eradicated in the particular environment. So these are some of the impacts of the overgrazing. Okay. So regarding the impact of agriculture, okay, so impact of agriculture. So there are three different changes are being identified. So the one will be the local changes, the second one will be the regional, and third one will be the global. So what is the need for to study about the impact of agriculture? So in present scenario, many of the agriculture or many of the farmers, they have been using the multiple number of fertilizers, chemical pesticides, chemical weedicides, and that is found to be causing a major impact over the environment. So that particular chemicals are not been affecting the nutrient level, it is also been affecting the natural microflora that are found to be giving some beneficial effects to the particular environment is also found to be get eradicated, and also the beneficial insects that are found to be present in our agro ecosystem is also found to be get reduced. So the particular agricultural based chemical things that are being used is being causing so many number of effects in our environment. The local changes are nothing but we can find some soil erosion. The second one, we can pollute the particular rivers directly. The third one, poisoning the particular fishes and depletion of the nutrients. So these are some of the local changes that have been happened due to the particular impact of agriculture. And the second one will be the regional changes. Regional changes is nothing but it's found to be in a state level or in a particular district level. Changes are being identified such as deforestation, desertification. So we are being converting the fertile land into infertile condition. So that's why it has been called as the desertification. And the third one will be the soil infertility, and the fourth one will be the large population. Okay, so there are so many number of dependents to a particular one. So hence the large population is being get increased in the particular environment. The third one will be the global changes. In the global changes, we can find the climate changes. The climate changes is nothing but that is found to be a major important factor at present scenario. We can find multiple numbers of changes in the particular environment. We can find the level of rainfall is found to be get decreased in a one particular area, get increased in another particular area. So the snow is found to be uh, melted in multiple number of cases, and we can find the global warming increase in temperature at present scenario. Some of the European countries are found to be showing some global warming. So many of the river bodies are found to be get depleted in these present scenarios. So these are some of the impacts that are being done from the particular agriculture. Beyond that, there are so many number of problems are being arising. For example, when a particular farmer or a person is being spraying the agriculture, the chemical pesticides, so the chemical pesticides may be inhaled by the particular living or human beings, and that is found to be entering in your system, and that is being causing some impact in a slower rate. When the particular chemicals are being depleted or being enter or being get deposited in his body in a huge rate, it may be causing some severe level of infection or severe level of problem in the particular person, which may lead to death of the particular person. So the impact of agriculture is not been affecting the environment, it's not been affecting the microbiotas, it's not been affecting the birds, it's not been affecting the beneficial organisms, it's also found to be affecting the persons who are being using the one. So they are found to be the direct they are found to be the direct persons who are being getting infected by the particular problem, whereas the indirect problematics are found to be the persons who are being consuming the agricultural products without washing or proper washing. So that is found to be get depositing in our system, and that is being entering in our tissues or cells and causing some severe impacts like cancers or some other problem in our body. For example, the United Nations are been banning a particular pesticide that is being called as the DDT. So the DDT has been banned because so the human breast milk is being identified by the traces of the DDT. Hence, the particular pesticide is being banned to be not used by any of the peoples in the worldwide. So these number of impacts are being given by the particular chemicals that we are being using in the particular agro ecosystem. And regarding the effects of modern agriculture, okay, so regarding the effects of the modern agriculture, so in the particular modern agriculture, so we peoples have been using some multiple number of hybrid varieties, many number of genetically modified varieties, okay, so that particular one is found to be diminishing the particular wild nature of the particular crop plants, okay. So the nature of the crop plants are found to be get reduced by the particular hybrid varieties, by the genetically modified system, and also there are so many effects have been identified. So the number one will be the water logging problem, the second one will be the salinity problem, the third one will be the fertilizer based problems, the fourth one will be the pesticide related problems. So the water logging, so the particular plants will not intake the maximum and hence the water will be get deposited in a particular location which leads to death of the particular problem. The salinity, the third one is the fertilizer related. The fertilizer means so intake of the particular nutrients or being get disturbed by the particular system. Hence, so the particular plants cannot able to grow in a proper way. And the fourth one, pesticide. So we can able to produce some super pest. Super pest means the pest can able to they can able to do some super duper effects against the particular agro ecosystem when we are being using, okay, so when the particular chemical pesticides or the particular fertilizers are being used, that will not be creating any impact over the particular pest. That type of pest are being called as the super pest. And the next one will be the biological magnification, so the accumulation of pesticides into the particular organisms, that is being called as the biological magnification. And the final one will be the death of the non-target organisms like the beneficial on the non-harmful organisms are found to be get dead, which leads to a greater impact over the particular agro ecosystem. The food security, so what does mean by food security? So we can call the one as the availability, accessibility and affordability. So the three A's are being called as the food security. So the availability to all the people and accessible by all the peoples, and it should be affordable by all the peoples at all times. So this is being called as the food security. Okay, the food that is being produced at the world should be available for all the person, it should be accessible by all the person and should be affordable to be by all the persons. Okay, so the rate of the particular food or the particular food grains should not be in a maximum, it should be in a minimum level, so that we can able to get the particular food and we can able to consume the one in a regular process. And the food security is ensured in a country. Okay, so how the food security is being ensured, okay, how the particular country or the particular people can ensure the particular food security? So they has to find out whether the food is going to be available to all the persons in the particular country, whether all the persons can able to buy the particular food and its acceptable qualities. Okay, so the quality of the food that is being produced, that is being given for the circulation should be an acceptable quality, so that the persons can able to buy the particular food in a easier rate. And there should be no barrier towards the food. Okay, so there should be no barrier. Okay, so the every people can easily able to buy the particular food in a easier way. So these are the three important factors regarding the food security. So the every country, every peoples has to make an ensure that the particular food that is being present in the particular country has to be reached to all the peoples of the particular country. And why there is a need for a food security? So some of the sections of a country or particular location of a country, they are found to be not able to get the particular food. So for those peoples, we has to provide the particular food. So during the natural disasters like earthquake, drought or flood or tsunami, so the particular food has to be reached to all the peoples. So the crop failure, widespread of the crop failure due to the drought has to be overcome by the particular food security. So we has to be very clear that the particular country has to keep the particular food in a demanded condition when there is a need. So how the drought affects the food security? Okay, so when the particular drought has been occurring in a particular location, so there will be a decreased production in the food grain, and also the affected areas are found to be having some shortage of the food. Okay, hence the food rates are found to be get increased, and many people cannot able to buy the particular food, which leads to the condition called food insecurity. Okay, so the food is not found to be, the drought is found to be causing some lesser production of the food grain, which leads to the shortage, and so the prices are found to be get increased based on the demand, and hence many people cannot able to buy the food, and that has been called as the food security. Some of the states that have been facing problem of the food security in India, such as eastern and southeastern parts of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, and some parts of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are being the locations where the food security conditions are found to be identified at present. So regarding the hunger status of the food security, we can classify the one into two types. One will be the chronic hunger, and second one will be the seasonal hunger. So the chronic hunger, it's nothing but, so the particular diet is not being given to the particular people for a very long period. Okay, for a particular long period, a particular type of food or a particular type of grains is not being provided for a particular long period, and that particular peoples are being suffering from the particular chronic hunger. It's a longing process, it's a found to be a lengthy process, it's found to be occurring for some month or some years. Whereas the seasonal hunger is nothing but during a particular season, a particular type of people or the particular region of a people will not get the particular food, and that particular one has been called as a seasonal hunger. And the seasonal hunger can be rectified. Okay, so it can be easily rectified, whereas chronic hunger has to be rectified, or it has to be taken concern by the particular government in order to provide a necessary diet to the particular peoples who are being the chronic hunger. So, or else this may lead to some malnutrition. So, it may lead to some malnutrition. Okay. So, so these are the things we have been seeing in the particular food resources, and the next one will be the energy resources. Okay. So the energy resources, the energy is nothing but the one that is being produced by our natural system. Okay, so the one that is being produced by our natural system, and that we peoples are being using for our day and daily purposes. So the number one will be the renewable energy resources. So in the renewable energy resources, the one that can be reused continuously. Okay, we can able to reuse the particular resources continuously. That has been called as the renewable energy resources. And examples like firewood, so the animal dung, so solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, and tidal energy. These were some of the examples of the renewable energy resources, and followed by the non-renewable energy resources. Once we are being using the particular energy resources, that cannot be reused once again, that will be get exhausted at the single stage itself. Okay, that type of energy resources, so that's it, that type of sources have been called as the non-renewable energy resources. Example: coal, mineral oil, natural gases, and nuclear plants. They are found to be the examples of the particular non-renewable energy resources. And these are the examples. We have been getting the energy from the solar system, wind system, tidal energy, geothermal energy, from the biomass based energy like natural vegetation, animal waste. So these are found to be some of the examples of the renewable source of the energy. And these are some of the examples of the non-renewable energy such as coal, natural gas and oil, and nuclear energy. Okay, so the nuclear energy that is found to be producing some radioactive toxic materials, and that is found to be affecting the particular greenhouse, which leads to depletion of the ozone layer. Okay, so we can go with an alternate source of energy. So that's one way in which we can make some alternate source of energy. Okay, so the 15 European nations, so that is found to be including the Spain and German countries. So by 2022, so they are being generating 20% of the total energy from the alternate energy resources. So alternate energy resources is nothing but not consuming. Okay, so by not consuming the natural renewable sources, by not using the natural non-renewable resources. Okay, so they are being going with some other resources like wind energy, vegetable oil productions like biodiesels. So like that, they can able to convert the one, they can able to make some alternate sources for the particular energy production. Okay, and so the India is found to be in the fourth position, whereas we peoples are being producing some good quantities of wind energy through the particular windmills. And there are some limitations for the alternate energy sources. Okay, so there are so many number of alterations limitations for the one. So the alternate sources are found to be in a limited numbers, and also the installation cost and the maintenance cost are found to be very high in the particular alternate energy resources. We has to be wait for a very long periods. Okay, and also the availability of the particular material, the availability of particular materials are found to be in a lacuna. Okay, so the availability of the materials are found to be in a lacuna. Hence, we has to be import a huge quantity of money in the particular one. Okay, and there are also found to be a lack of human capital. So the whole energy industry will be get affected by the particular one, and there are some institutions or some government or some individuals are been adapting this particular technology for their energy productions. And what does mean by energy recovery? Okay, how we can able to get the particular energy? Okay, how we can able to recover the particular energy? Okay, so we can able to, so the crude oil availability can be made in a higher level. We can able to increase the we can able to reduce the waste volume by 90 percentage, and we can able to reduce the coal powered power plants. Hence the particular coal demands can be get reduced, and also we can able to slow the particular climate change, so that the particular environment is found to be in a gooder condition, so that the particular energy or the resources can be easily produce the necessary energies. And through this particular one, the emission of the greenhouse gases are found to be get reduced. Okay, so that should be some. So there are some disadvantages over here. So like the proper care should be taken care of in burning the particular one. So it may lead some toxic gases. Okay, it may lead some toxic gases, and they may be producing some heavy metals. Okay, so when it is being inhaled, it's found to be causing some direct impact or indirect impact to the humans and to the environment. Okay, so hence we should be very careful when you are been using the particular energy recovery mechanism, and what the things are going to be get released and how it is going to be get released, and that things has to be studied properly before going for the particular energy recovery mechanism. And regarding the urban problems related to the particular energy, so many peoples are been demanding on multiple number of electronic gadgets, electronic items. So like fridge, TVs, washing machines, laptops, audio systems, micro ovens, light, and multiple number of things are being used at present scenario. Okay, many peoples, okay, multiple number of peoples are being using the particular energy in a useless conditions. So that particular energy is found to be depleting in a maximum number. That particular numbers are found to be get depleted in a maximum number, especially in the urban populations, especially in the urban sectors. Whereas in the rural sectors, the peoples are found to be using in a very limited quantities. The peoples are found to be using the particular energy in a limited quantity, whereas the urban sector, so due to some multiple number of reasons, for the showcase, for the other things, for the other things, the peoples are being using the particular energy resources in a maximum numbers. Okay, and these are the things are found to be shown for the particular energy resources. So the third one will be the land resources. Okay, so the land that is found to be the major important thing for the particular humankind. Okay, which is found to be the location where we can able to do the particular agriculture, and also it is found to be the location where the underground waters are found to be get deposited and being get transmitted in our environment. And also multiple number of animals are having the habitat as the land only. Okay, so it's found to be giving some direct and indirect resources to the humans. So here you can find the particular soil profile. So this is found to be showing the layers. Okay, so it's found to be showing the layers of the particular soil. So the top one will be called as the humus, or as the organic layer, which contains the dried leaves, microorganisms, beneficial microorganisms, and followed by the humus we can find the particular topsoil, then elevated horizon, subsoil, barren material, and the bedrock. Okay, these are the layers of the particular soil that is found to be present in the particular environment which is found to be having. And regarding the functions of soil, okay, so the soil which is found to be giving multiple number of functions to the particular human mankind and also to the environment. The first one, they are found to be the source or found to be the location where the particular nutrient cycles are found to be get done, like carbon cycle, phosphorus, nitrogen, sulfur, like the things are found to be done. The second one will be the agricultural based activities can be done in the particular soil, and also the water is found to be get regulated in the particular soil, and we have been getting some water through the bore wells, and we can able to regulate the emission of the gases. Okay, so multiple number of gases are found to be present in our underground soil system. We can able to get the particular one, and also they are found to be degrading the pollutants and filter the groundwater and making them to be pure in condition. Okay, and the soil which is found to be producing some clay, and that can be used for the structural materials like brick and cement can be produced, and there is a sequestered carbon as an organic matter is found to be present in our particular environment. Okay, so regarding land degradation, so land degradation means the fertility of the particular one. Okay, so the fertility of the particular land, the productivity of the natural vegetations or being get affected or being get diminished by the particular man-made activities. Okay, so the man-made activities are being affecting the fertility of the land and also the productivity of the natural vegetation, agricultural crops. It's found to be reducing the quality of the land, and that has been called as the land degradation. And there are two different factors are found to be there. So for the particular land degradation activity, one will be the natural and second will be the anthropogenic. So the natural is nothing but heavy rain, which is found to be removing all the upper beneficial organic layers. The high speed wind and storm is removing the upper organic layers. The natural disasters like earthquake, flood, and prolonged drought is been affecting this particular upper soil layers like humus and topsoil. Okay. Whereas the anthropogenic factors like mining process, urbanization, indiscriminate and uncontrolled removal of trees, excessive use of fertilizer, industrial discharges, overgrazing, and soil erosion are found to be some other factors which is found to be affecting the particular land degradation activities. Okay, so here one is found to be get linked with another one. For example, the excess use of fertilizer that has been we have studied in the particular agro ecosystem, the overgrazing and soil resources we have studied already in the lab. So already we have studied in the particular agricultural resources, food resources. So the one and one is found to be the everyone is found to be get linked with themselves. Okay, everything is found to be having some linked with themselves. Okay. So the next one will be the soil erosion. So soil erosion is nothing but removal of the topsoil from its resting place. Okay, so this has been called as the topsoil. Okay, so this has been called as the topsoil, which is containing the humus and organic layer, and the topsoil, which is found to be the source for the humus and organic layers. Okay, so that has been removed. Okay, so that has been removed is being called as the soil erosion. Okay, so there are so many number of effects. So there are so many number of things are been causing the particular soil erosion. So large scale of deforestation. Okay, so large scale of deforestation, the removal of forest is being called as the deforestation. That has been making the one to be cause the soil erosion, heavy flood in the rivers, and overgrazing by the cattle, dry violent wind, which is found to be uprooting the top soil layer, and improper agricultural techniques, which is found to be removing the particular upper layer of the soil, the top soil. Okay, so due to the soil erosion, there are so many number of effects are found to be identified. The number one will be the desertification. You can find how the particular environment has been looking like. Okay, how the environment has been looking like. This has been one example for the desertification. And the productivity of the land is also found to be get reduced. Reduction in the agri background. Okay, so the agri land reduction is found to be get reduced. Okay, so deposition of the riverbeds and canals causing diversion of the natural flow and hence leading to the disasters. Means so the pathway of the flood waters are being get diverted, which is found to be done due to the soil erosions. Okay, so it's found to be done due to the particular soil erosions. Okay, and how to control the soil erosion. So there are so many number of things we can use. We can reduce the tillage activities, counter the cultivation. We can able to increase the number of cultivation. Strip cropping can be done, terracing can be done, and forestation on the bearing lands, and we can able to control the overgrazing. We can able to construct some small check dams so that we can able to control the flow of the particular water, and we can able to promote the equitable use of the water resource, how it is found to be present, that can be checked and analyzed by the particular peoples. And prevention of the excavation of the rocks. The rocks are found to be the major important one, which is found to be properly directing the particular water to be moving in a perfect flow. So by non removing the rocks, we can able to maintain the particular water flow in a perfect conditions. And these are some of the methods. This has been found to be called as the strip cropping. This is found to be the counterbanding, terracing, and construction of checkbands. And we can go with the afforestation, development of the forest. Okay, so that has been called as the afforestation. Okay. And regarding the desertification, so desertification is found to be a major important factor at present scenario. So the desertification is nothing but converting the fertile into an infertile condition. Okay, the land to be in a fertile to an infertile condition has been called as a desertification. So here we cannot able to grow any crops in the particular location. So the particular environment will be an unsuitable one for the particular agro ecosystem. So it's found to be a useless one to all the peoples. So the causes of desertification, the natural factors like the low rainfall, high salinity of the soil, excessive evaporation, vast difference in the diurnal temperatures. So these are found to be the natural factors which is found to be causing the desertification. Whereas the anthropogenic factors like the man-made things like overgrazing, over-irrigation, excessive ploughing, excessive use of fertilizer, continuous cutting of trees is found to be some of the causes of the desertification that are being done by the particular man-made activities. And regarding the effects of desertification, so the poor soil quality, rapid soil erosion, unfavorable climate, huge economic losses, low water table, salty and hot waters, and these are some of the effects. So the quality of the soil is found to be get reduced, the nutrient levels are found to be get diminished, and also the high number of soil erosion, the high number of soil erosions are found to be get done in the particular desertification process. So the unfavorable conditions due to the particular desertification is found to be identified, and also there will be huge economic loss to the particular community peoples, and the water levels found to be get reduced, and it is having some high quantity of the salt, and hardness is found to be in a high numbers. And regarding the control of desertification, how to control the desertification process? We can produce a large scale of plantation of trees, changing agricultural practices and promoting dry land farming, development of pasture land and control of the overgrazing can able to stop the desertification. We can use equitable use of water resources, development of water catchment areas so that we can able to supply the particular water to the particular location, making the particular environment to be in a greener conditions, and through which we can able to control the desertification process and converting the infertile to the fertile conditions.